podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Hylan. My friends and I are in an infernal marketplace called the Wandering Emporium. I'm getting a haircut from Burney the Barber, who's just told me that she has a message for me from someone she calls the grandfather of us all. She can only mean Bahamut himself. What message does grandfather have for me?
As you say this, she looks at you, and you hear her voice in your mind in the same way that Melitium speaks to you.
We can talk like this. No need to open your mouth at all.
Okay.
She starts to speak and she says, "Oh, my dear, your hair, I love it, but it needs a little bit of modernization, yes?" And she smiles.
I agree. Actually, can you do this thing where I've seen it in Baldur's Gate where you sort of shave one side?
Oh.
And then it just sort of flips over to the other side and then just maybe take a little length off so it's maybe like shoulder-ish length and that's just shaved on one side. Could you do that?
Yes, you're going to look so hot. I love it.
Thanks.
And then in your mind, you hear,
Hylan, grandfather wishes to know what is going on. I saw the helm on one of your friends, the helm that belongs to grandfather's confidant, Torm.
Yes.
Why are you all here?
Somehow I thought maybe grandfather knew. Do I trust her?
I don't know, do you trust her?
I'm about to reveal something. Can I make an insight check?
Absolutely.
Ooh, natural 20 for 21.
Instinctively, you know that this woman, although she speaks with a Kalashite accent, there's something more to her. She has bronze skin and her eyes are coppery, almost like an orangey brown. There's something behind those eyes that makes you instinctively trust her.
Okay. Well, it's a long story, but the short version is that many years ago, when the Hell Riders from Elturel rode into Hell, there was an angel leading them. That angel was Zariel. Something happened and Zariel was left here. And Zariel has become Archduchess of Hell. And she has decided to pull the city of Elturel into Avernus. And we have come to try to figure out a way to get the city back to the prime material plane where it belongs. We're very worried about its people and what something like this could set as a precedent.
I see. You are there to stop Zariel. What is the purpose of the city, you said?
The city was fooled into signing what they thought was some sort of oath or a creed to defend Elturel, but really they were tricked, and what they were signing, they signed away their souls. And then the city was given to Zariel and was actually brought here to Avernus. There is a crater where it was left. And this can't be the only city that she plans to bring down here. We need to help them and stop her from continuing.
I see. So she wishes to gain souls?
Yes.
For the purpose of...
fighting the blood war?
But the blood war has gone on for millennia, unless...
She may, in some part, want revenge. I think she feels that she was betrayed. I want to try to help her. I would rather help her than destroy her, but I don't know if that's possible.
Are you intent on, in some way, stopping the souls of the residents of the city from joining her forces?
If there's some way to do that, then yes, but really our first responsibility and what we swore to do is to save the people of Elturel and return it to its proper place. And then hopefully find out what her motives are. Right now we're looking for her sword and we're not having a lot of luck finding it.
Her sword?
Yes, do you have any idea about that?
I wish I did, if it could somehow help you. Grandfather has said to me personally that you are very special, and I am to make sure that what you have in your possession is utilized correctly. He spoke of an orb, a very special orb.
Yes.
You know of this orb, yes?
I do.
What purpose do you have for it?
We have the orb in our possession. One avenue that was presented to us was to give it to Archon, the Cruel.
When you say that in your mind, almost immediately, she stops cutting your hair.
Which we would never do, and I refused. And that is why we're here.
I understand, yes. But yet you have the orb.
Yes, and we're trying to find a way to destroy it or keep it safe. There's no way I'm letting it get into the hands of Archon or anyone like Archon. Tiamat cannot have this, and neither can her servants.
No, she cannot. The Orb of Dragonkind has wreaked havoc on many different planes of the multiverse. But the one that you have in your possession cannot be easily destroyed. So I would dissuade you from attempting it. As for keeping it safe, I may have an idea, but this plot of Zariel's concerns me greatly. If you are intent on stopping Zariel from gaining souls in the Blood War, you may actually be tipping the balance of power here in Avernus in favor of Tiamat. She may be able to wrest power and become the new Archduchess of Avernus, which cannot occur.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that.
I understand you do not want to give the orb to Archon. I do, I truly do. But what business do you have with Archon?
We need some of Tiamat's blood, just a small amount, to free a Tao that is imprisoning a unicorn from Celestia at the top of the Demon Zapper. I personally have no desire to widely meddle in the affairs of this place or tip any balance, but I do know that I cannot let those people be left down here.
I know.
They didn't do anything wrong, they were tricked.
I understand. I do.
She begins to cut your hair again and turns to you, smiles, and says, I think we're getting there, don't you think? She shows you a mirror.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Very well, very well. I will continue. And then again, in your head, you hear,
perhaps it is possible to obtain this blood through other means than to relinquish the orb, or perhaps to present it to him, but somehow deceive him in some other way.
We are currently on our way to another tower to pursue an alternative route that would not require coming near Archon, which I would prefer because although I am very grateful for the many gifts that Grandfather has given me and I have the utmost faith in my companions, I don't know that I feel ready to go up against someone like Archon and try to deceive him. So I would like to explore this other way, which is this other tower, and then I'm going to explain that tower to her to see if she knows anything about it.
She says, No, I know nothing of this obelisk.
You mentioned that you might have an idea of how to safeguard the orb if we were not going to relinquish it.
I am one of the lucky few that is able to remove myself from this place and return home.
and she smiles and hands you the mirror once more. Mm-hmm. And as you look in the mirror and as she stands behind you, you see that her copper eyes are glowing with an orange light.
She says, "This is not my home. My home is with Grandfather."
Can I give it to you?
If you are sure that you will not need the orb in any way, shape, or form, either as a bargaining chip or in some way of entering Archon's domain.
I'll discuss it with my friends if that's okay. I'd like to hear what they think.
Oh, so very, very sorry. This is a decision that you must make alone.
Well, I would prefer not to have something like that in my possession. There are a lot of things at work here in Avernus, and I've had a lot of surprises, and many things have surpassed my expectations, and I realize I know so little, and the last thing I would want is for this to fall into the wrong hands and to empower Tiamat or her followers or cause harm. So even though perhaps it would be a valuable bargaining chip, I think the risk is too high, it's too powerful. So I would like to give it to you.
She sighs and says,
"I will accept this of my own free will. But I must say, if you are somehow able to obtain the blood of Tiamat without the orb, you are indeed as resourceful as Grandfather says you are." Hylan, the road ahead is long, and I cannot see its end. Since you have given me a gift, may I give you one in return?
I would humbly accept any help you could offer.
Besides this amazing haircut, of course.
Oh yeah, I look amazing.
She takes the mirror from your hand. She puts it on a side table and then brushes your shoulder as if to sort of brush hair off of your garment. Mm-hmm. And you start to feel something climbing up the back of the chair.
Okay.
Like there's an extra weight.
I turn around.
And you look down to see a light brown cat with beautiful green eyes.
Yes.
It doesn't look like Nell. Nell is sort of gray and a little shabby. This is very fluffy, a big, almost pink tummy. As she comes up over the side of the chair and sort of climbs into your lap.
Yes, please.
You see this cat as it sort of like curls in on itself and yawns and stretches. You see that it stretches out to its full cat length and enormous wings sprout from its back, just like Slobberchops's.
My heart is bursting. I am tearing up at just the weight of a cat on my lap. I am so beside myself and happy, and I'm just petting it gently, and I say, "She's beautiful, thank you."
Of course, of course. She needs a name, though.
I think I'll call her Lily.
Oh, Lily. That is such a pretty name. And when you say Lily, she sort of looks up at you almost as if you've called her that her whole life. And she just sort of looks up and goes, meow. Gives a very soft meow.
Goodness, Lily.
Well, Lily is your familiar now.
Lily, do you understand what I'm saying? Put one paw up if you understand me.
Puts a paw on your chest.
Oh my goodness, Lily. Okay.
Well, we are done here. And she whips off the cloth that's around you. And you are handed that mirror. And tell me what it is that you see after Burney's done her job.
Burney just gave me the most amazing haircut. Apparently, she's very multi-talented because she did exactly what I asked, where one side is very close cut, almost shaved. It's the left side. And then the rest of it is a little past shoulder length and just flips over. And it's more comfortable. It's like less in the way. And it's a little cooler because it's hot as hell down here. I'm feeling happy.
Burney says, I am very glad that you approve of. Allow me, if you will, a small indulgence. I have been told that I am a decent teller of stories. Short ones, but ones with purpose. Perhaps this one will aid you.
Thank you, yes.
There was once a thirsty crow, and after flying a very long distance, this crow was wandering the forest in search of water. Finally, he saw a pot half filled with water. He tried to drink from it, but his beak wasn't long enough to reach the water inside. Then he saw pebbles on the ground, and although it took him a very long time, one by one he put them in the pot until the water rose to the brim of the pot. Crow was happy and hastily drank from it and then quenched his thirst. And Hylan, I think that this story applies to you. Every problem has a solution if we don't give up and work hard enough to find it.
I'm so fortunate to have met you. I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
She nods.
And then I will reach into my bag and I'm going to double check that no one's around. And I'm going to pull out the orb and I'm going to hand it to Burney.
The orb, it's such a strange thing to look at when you pull it out. It's got this sort of swirling mist inside of it. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue. But at this point in time, it's got a very strong reddish color to it. You hand the orb to Burney, and Burney, looking at it, has this very serious look on her face, very different from how you saw her last. And she takes it, and she says, "Thank you, Hylan." And as you watch, the entire tent with Burney inside of it disappears.
Wow.
And you are left standing there. However, I would like you to do a very high DC perception check just before she leaves.
You see her sneaking around the corner.
Incredible. That's a 22.
Just before Burney disappears, you see the faintest glimmer of an enormous vision where Burney stood. And where she stood is a 20-foot tall, copper-skinned dragon.
Amazing.
As quickly as you see it, it disappears.
Wow. I immediately make sure that I have Lily.
Lily is curled around your foot.
Yes. Lily, do you want to meet some people? Okay, I pick Lily up, hugging her for dear life, and I'm going to try to find my friends.
Hi everybody, the show will be back for the second half. First, it's time to tell you about how you can play D&D with us. Would you like to meet a dragon like Hylan did in this episode? Cast Party's professional dungeon masters are available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventures, as well as third-party adventures, and some we've created ourselves. With our Beyond D&D online game series, Cast Party is now branching out to play other tabletop role-playing games with you, including Pathfinder 2e, Blades in the Dark, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Alien the Role-Playing Game, Monster of the Week, and others. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, on Instagram at cast_party, or on TikTok at cast_party. As always, we're offering monthly free adventures with our Dungeon Masters. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Avernus.
Renascence and Corbin, the thing that you don't really need a very high passive perception to notice is the sound of a tumult of squawks and screeches that are approaching from the south. There are half a dozen maybe, abyssal chickens that are running in your direction, and directly behind them is Eliak. Eliak is, if you remember, the vendor of demon ichor. He's the one with the weird tentacles for fingers, and he's just waving them in every direction and screaming strange epithets at these abyssal chickens. He's trying to corral them. So yeah, Eliak is running behind, but these chickens are very fast, and they are running directly in your direction. What do you guys want to do?
Step out of the way.
Corbin's going to run over right in front of one. I don't know if Corbin would know this, but Andy knows how to actually catch a chicken. You don't grab it around the wings or the body, you grab it by the legs. And he's going to try to grab the legs of the closest chicken, not to hurt it, just to catch it.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand.
Athletics?
Animal handling?
Not really a beast. I will give you either sleight of hand or animal handling, although my heart is telling me no.
I'll take animal handling. That is a dirty 20.
You grab it, it starts to actually sort of lift off the ground a little bit. Like it starts to like flap its little like abyssal chicken wings. It looks like it's flying, not in any specific direction. It's just sort of changing course left and right, just screeching and squawking. Nearby, the tent with Zeneth, the two Mesoloths and the Ultraloth, they have started to crack up. They are just emitting these croaking laughs of cruel joy at this whole situation. But you've got yourself an abyssal chicken.
And I'm going to hold it out for me so it can't bite me upside down.
Okay. The other four, Renascence, do you wish to partake of abyssal chicken joys?
No,
or do you want to just...
No, not really.
Ren, come on, help!
I just stand aside.
They're getting away.
Okay, well, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what. I get in the way. I don't touch any of them, but I say, boo! And I try to scare them back in the direction of the guy who's hurting them.
Make an intimidation check.
I can't thaumaturgy because that would be against the rules of the place. So I'm just yelling boo.
Boo.
I did get a 16.
They sort of stop, all of them in a very almost cartoonish way, just skid to a halt, and then just like bonk into one another. One of them takes off from the ground, doesn't fly for very long, maybe flies for about 3 or 4 feet, and then just does a face plant right into the dirt.
Boo, you little bastards. Go back that way.
Grab him by the legs! The legs!
No, I'm not grabbing it.
The legs!
Eliok's tentacle fingers come out, wrap around 2 of them. So he's got 2 in his 10-foot-long grasp, and the other 2 have just maybe they've just knocked themselves silly. They're on the ground, squawking. Zeneth calls out to Eliok, and he says,
Oh, you fool! Where'd you get those chickens? Down at the spawning trees?
And Eliok looks over at Zeneth so he can see Zeneth's face, because he can read lips. And Eliok makes a very stern grimace and shakes his head in a disapproving fashion. Zeneth's like,
They'll do anything down there just to get rid of those bloody chickens. Hey!
And he taps the Ultraloth on the shoulder.
You hear about that thing down there at the trees?
The Ultraloth turns towards Zeneth. He says,
There's a bearded devil that went soft. You hear about that?
the Ultraloth sort of turns, looks at him in a quizzical fashion, and says, "What do you mean, went soft?" Zeneth says,
He's not doing what the rest of the fiends do. He actually thinks he's good. Hear that? A devil that thinks he's good.
and the Ultraloth's like,
Very interesting. What's his name?
Zeneth says,
Stupid name. Crackerface, Cricken...
snaps his fingers,
Crickendolt. That's his name. Crickendolt. You ever heard of such a stupid name for a devil? Crickendolt.
In the meantime, Eliok has grabbed a couple more abyssal chickens with his tentacle fingers, and he's looking at you for the last one, Corbin.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, he grabs it, gives it a shake.
When I hand it to him, I'm going to say to him, "What's down by the trees? What does that mean?"
Eliok doesn't speak in the same fashion that other members of this place do, because he doesn't have any ears.
Oh.
So he just sort of looks at you and just shakes his head and begins to walk with all of these abyssal chickens in his hand back toward his shop.
What do you think about that, Ren? Think we should find out more about this good devil?
Kind of got a lot on our plate, don't we?
I don't know. Maybe we could use an ally, you know?
All right. I sidle up to Zeneth and his cronies, and I say, in Infernal, "Oh, bullshit. I don't believe there's such a fiend. Nobody could be that stupid."
It's true, though. I have word from others that work down there where they spawn the damn things.
Down where?
Down by the spawning trees.
I say,
Spawning trees?
I ain't gonna believe it until I see him for myself. Where is it? I want to see this good devil.
Well, if you want to see him for yourself, you have to go down to the trees. That's where he works.
Ah,
Oh,
all right.
which way's that?
He laughs. Which way?
Well, I'm a bugbear. I don't know stuff. Just tell me. I'm not smart.
I say to Corbin, I switch into common, we actually know that place.
Oh, I forgot.
Right, well, maybe I'll just pop down if I'm bored and have a look at him for myself. But it's a difficult thing to believe.
Right, if we kill him, maybe there's a reward, right? And Corbin walks off with Ren.
When we left Fort Knucklebone, Lulu said we could either go to a place they destroy them or the place where they're spawned. And she and Wiser knew where both places were, so I reckon the spawning place is that place where they're talking about, where this devil is.
All right.
Yeah, but to be honest, Corbin, we got a lot on our plate already, you know? Like, we should be getting onto this.
I'm just thinking if at some point we need friends, you know, a good devil might be a good friend. I don't know.
Well, let's see if we can collect Hyland and Ofelia.
All right.
Let's switch to Ofelia then. Having finished that wonderful meal, your muscles finally loosening. There's so much tension, so much stress, so much horror that you've encountered in the last week, 2 weeks, something like that. You don't even know how long it's been, to be honest, because it's Avernus. This is such a welcome respite. And because you partook in the spa, mechanically, you have the effects of something called a Hero's Feast. It's a spell. It's actually a pretty powerful spell. Hero's Feasts, when you partake of them, you are cured of all diseases and poison. You are immune to poison and being frightened, and make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Your hit point maximum also increases by 2d10. Note that this is not permanent. These benefits only last for 24 hours.
Well, I feel great. Now, if I emerge from the tub, can I go back to essentially, I guess, the information center or the, where I could inquire about the additional
Yeah, there's like
services?
a concierge. There's a very lovely woman behind the desk, draped in red and white robes.
I will say to the concierge, hello there, I would like to order an additional service.
Oh, yes, of course. How can we be of assistance?
Well, I understand you have a treatment which will remove painful memories.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
I would be very interested in learning more about the treatment. Could you tell me how it works?
Of course, of course. We have a very specific mud mask that when placed over your entire head, with of course room for you to breathe, we wouldn't want you to die or anything like that before your time. But when the mud mask is applied to your entire head, you will feel a little bit of a tingle. It's important to let the person who is applying the mask know what specific memories that you would like to remove. Else, well, accidents can occur. And she smiles.
Well, I think I'll take the risk. Yes.
And she says, oh, I think that you'll be very happy with our services. Sven! And she calls out, and you turn around, and standing behind you is probably one of the most drop-dead gorgeous men you have ever seen in your life. He's tall, his muscles are bulging out from the ripped shoulders of his white tunic, his chiseled features. He's got brilliant blue eyes. He stares at you and says, are you my next appointment?
Yes, I believe so.
Smiles, perfect white teeth.
Well,
I'm at
thank
your
you.
service.
Thank you, Sven.
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're here for the psychic scrub.
Yes.
Wonderful. Follow me, please. And he turns and walks down the hallway.
Follow him.
He opens a door about 3/4 of the way down the hall, and you see a small room. It's lit by candles. The scent is orange oils, the smell of cinnamon as well. It's very pleasing. Lilting music is filtering in from somewhere above you. You're not quite sure where. Very calming, very relaxing. And you see a table with a pillow.
Do I sit here?
Oh, no, you lie down, miss.
Oh, she does so. Yes, I want to be very specific about which memories I would like erased. She will go on to then give him essentially a brief recap of her experiences at the college and what ensued.
He, strangely enough, has no emotional response to any of the absolutely grim, grisly, and nightmarish things that have occurred, or your involvement. He says, I see. Yes, that's certainly something that one would want to have removed.
Now, I do wonder, the skill set that I've acquired from the knowledge of these memories, that would not be affected, would it?
I've never had any experiences with anyone losing anything but memories from this procedure.
How often have you done this procedure?
Many times.
And your customers are always satisfied?
Always satisfied.
Insight check.
Go for it.
That is a 22.
Even with this sort of living Ken doll in front of you, you are able to discern he is not lying.
Well, he's not my type. She likes short guys. I think we've established
that's
that.
Fine. Yeah, that's true.
And you're not afraid of what I've told you? That I'm dangerous? And
Everyone is dangerous in their own way, miss.
do you get many clients like me with the sort of memories that I have?
Yours is probably top 10.
Oh, well, I don't quite know how to respond to that. Have you ever undergone the procedure yourself?
It wouldn't work on me, miss.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose there's no reason to waste any additional time. You know which memories I would like removed? Those and no others.
Of course, miss. Please relax. This, I promise, will not hurt at all. And he gestures for you to lie down on this bed.
She lies down.
He walks over to the side and waves his hand, and there, standing where there was nothing before, is now a small table, and on that table is a glittering silver bowl filled with some kind of a hot, reddish-brown, gelatinous fluid. Dips his hands into this muck and pivots and places his hands on your face. The feeling at first is as if you were putting on a mud mask. It's warm, a little slimy, but as it cools, you feel this enormous sort of tingling sensation that travels from your face to the back of your head and all the way down through your limbs. and he begins to sort of apply this mud mask all over your face. He even applies it to your hair. As he applies it over your eyes, there's sort of a darkness that covers over your sense of vision, and he doesn't apply it over, obviously, your nostrils, so you're able to breathe. And after about 5 minutes, he has covered your entire head. And your entire head is buzzing. You just feel your whole brain lighting up. All the neurons are firing with this feeling, this sensation of relaxation and joy, and also just calm. Calm throughout your whole body, and you drift not into a sleep, but into a sort of trance. As if you could see time going backwards. You see yourself in snatches appearing in Avernus, and then you see yourself in Traxigor's tower, and then you see yourself in front of the Venthamper Manor with the rest of your compatriots. Then you see yourself screaming at Dr. Hulk Finster as he flies out the back of the window. And then you see yourself on a rainy Baldur's Gate night, standing alone in the rain. And then there's a gap. It's like if someone has just taken the memories from the very moment that you picked up that parchment inside that trunk, inside the College of New Olam, to the moment where you ran out of the college's auditorium, screaming bloody murder. And nothing of that entire experience is left in your mind. It's just removed. It's gone. When you open your eyes, the mud, it's not there anymore. You don't need to wash it off or do anything to remove it. It's just gone. It has disappeared entirely. And when your eyes open, you're still laying on the bed. You see this attendant, Sven, sitting across the room staring at you. How do you feel?
Lighter. It's strange. I haven't felt this good in a long time.
Well then, I assume that you are satisfied with our care.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Wonderful to hear. He stands up and he walks towards the door and he opens it for you.
I step through.
He says, if you wouldn't mind filling out a small survey before you leave, and hands you a piece of parchment.
I look at the parchment.
It says, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate our services? 1 being want to throw yourself into the abyss, and 5 being want to come back for more and would recommend to friends.
I want to look very closely at this document. Is there any fine print? Is there anything,
Investigation.
Any Willy Wonka style contract, fine print? That is a 13.
If there is any, you don't see it.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 5, I will give Sven a 5.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. Would you mind putting your name down here, unless you wish to remain anonymous?
Why would I wish to remain anonymous? Do others do that?
Some do, yes.
And what is that? Where are these shared?
They're shared with the establishment, of course, miss. In order to further our services, we need to know our clientele.
I see. I suppose I will remain anonymous.
Very well. That will be all. Thank you so very much, miss. And he takes the piece of parchment from you.
Thank you. She will emerge to look for her friends.
You come out into the arid heat of Avernus as soon as you exit Infernal Rapture. It's just such a different atmosphere, sorry to say.
Does her hair immediately frizz?
Yep, it just poof. All of that work for nothing. You probably encounter Hylan, since she's relatively close by.
Hello, Hylan. I like your haircut.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is Lily. And I hold up a cat with wings.
Hello, Lily. She reaches out her hand for Lily to sniff it.
Yep, I think Lily is very friendly.
She pets Lily, tells she's such a good girl.
You probably see Corbin and Renascence just as the Abyssal chicken affair ends. I guess all 4 of you are once again together. Lulu is sort of flapping around. When she sees all 4 of you together, she sort of rejoins your group. Oh, hi, everybody. How you doing?
Everybody, this is Lily. Look at Lily. Look at Lily. Everybody, look at Lily.
What's Slobber Chops doing here?
This isn't Slobber Chops.
Oh.
What?
Lily.
Oh.
Where'd that come from?
When we're somewhere a little more private, I can't wait to tell you. But she's gonna travel with us.
All right. Ofelia, how was the, the spa?
Oh, it was wonderful. I feel so relaxed.
Was the food good?
It was.
What'd you eat?
We don't need to talk about that.
What?
More like,
what was that?
Who'd you eat?
It was a rare delicacy. I can't quite remember the name of it.
Wait, you just ate it? You don't remember? Oh, come on.
I did have that memory treatment, and I think there might have been some residual side effects, but I definitely didn't eat anything sentient.
Treatment? What's a memory treatment?
There was a special spa service, a psychic scrub, and I asked for some of my memories to be removed. Of course, none that.
Wait, are they removed from us too?
No. You weren't present for these memories. Don't worry, I've kept all of my memories of you.
Do you feel better?
I do feel better. I feel lighter.
I feel strange asking this because I feel like maybe you don't remember them now, but are these the memories of what you told us at that bowl?
At the bowl?
Oh, you want us to tell you? We could tell you what they are.
I don't think we should. I don't think we should tell her right now.
Wait, we know her memories and she doesn't? Oh, that's
but
weird.
She's gone to quite a lot of trouble, and I understand why, of putting those behind her, so we should probably respect that, Corbin, you know?
But aren't your memories who you are as a person in some way?
I suppose so, but I still have a lot left. I like most of the ones I have.
Right, but the good ones and the bad ones makes who we are and help us make our decisions and things. I won't say anything. It's just weird.
I look uneasily towards the infernal rapture and I say, unless anyone's got something else they really need to take care of here in the Emporium, I feel like it might be time we was moving on.
Yes, I think so.
I agree.
Come on, Hyland, you can tell us all about Lily once we're back in the ragawagon.
Can I call it Slobber Chops?
Well, it's named Lily, so...
Lily, is it okay if Corbin calls you Slobber Chops?
Lily gives Corbin a very sort of why look.
Why don't we just try Lily for a little while, Corbin, see if it starts to feel normal for you. And then if we want to, we can circle back on the Slobber Chops thing.
All right.
Whilst you were all talking, Lulu's sort of looking around. She says, we're leaving, right?
Right.
Okay, I mean, I feel like I didn't really get anything from Mahadi. Was coming here a good idea?
I think so.
Do you want to talk to him again?
I don't know. I mean, he said that he didn't remember how my memories got stolen. He was happy to see me, but I feel like I did it again. I feel like I brought us to another dead end.
Do you think that same, I don't know how her memories got taken, yours were taken the same way?
I hope not.
Like if that guy can pull your bad memories, maybe that guy pulled
Oh, that is
Lulu's
worth a
bad
question.
memories.
Yes. Well, I know how we can check. Possibly.
Great. How?
Well, I didn't sign it with my name, but Lulu might have. I was asked to fill out an employee satisfaction survey after the treatment. Of course, I gave Sven a 5. Perhaps Lulu had done the same. They may have a record of her.
That's a really great idea. I mean, we'd have to find where they put all the records of all those surveys, I guess. But even if we found out that this place took my memories, I mean, there's a reason why I would have wanted my memories to be gone. That means I would have done it to myself.
Right.
Well,
maybe they were that bad.
Maybe it was a big burden to you, like with Ofelia, and you didn't want them anymore.
All right, let's find the boss and find out. What do you say?
Okay.
Is Mahadi around?
You can make a perception check.
Just as I'm going to give myself guidance, I stop, go, oh, no spells. But Corbin rolled a 26.
Ooh.
Mahadi's actually stepping out from the infernal rapture. Stretches his arms, yawns, cracks his neck.
Mr. Mahadi, we've had a lovely time here at the Wandering Emporium. Sorry that we made such a fuss about not wanting to go in. That was clearly a mistake on our part. We wondered if during her previous visit with you, Lulu had a chance to fill out a customer satisfaction survey.
I don't remember, actually. I'd have to look.
If possible, because she's realized that she may have incorrectly rated a few people too poorly in light of our current experience, and if so, she'd like to amend it based on the lovely time she's just had.
Make a deception check.
17.
He looks at you and he says, No. Renascence, lies do not become us. If you wish to ask me something, you may simply ask me something.
Cards on the table, then. Our friend, Ofelia, took advantage of some of your memory removal services, which tells me that you're quite capable of removing people's memories.
And I was quite satisfied, by the way.
Oh, great to hear. Fantastic. Yes, the psychic scrub that we have here is infused with the waters of the Styx.
Lulu's struggling with a touch of amnesia. Is that right, Lulu?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I mean, my memories are slowly but surely coming back. I mean, I remember you.
So we was wondering, Mahadi, if you might know anything about why Lulu's got some blank spots in her memory.
No, I have absolutely no idea. I'm very, very sorry to tell you this.
Do I believe
We
that?
do an insight check last time.
I was going to say that too.
You can all roll.
Renascence got a 21.
Corbin got a 22.
Ofelia got a 23.
Hylan got a 19.
Ofelia, he's lying.
Now, Mahadi, lies aren't becoming, are they? Did you remove Lulu's memory? I'll ask you again. Or do you know how it got removed?
It's not polite to be rude in one's place of business.
Well, Mahadi, if you did remove Lulu's memories against her will, I'm pretty sure that would constitute coercive behavior, which, if I direct you to your own contract, would be a clear violation of Item 2.
He stares at you.
I'd hate to have to report this to the Infernal Council.
Right, maybe we should just report it. I think might be the best thing.
Yeah. I'd hate to arbitrate that between us. You're right, Corbin. We don't need to sort this out here. We'll just pop off to the authorities, shall we?
Do it.
Wait. Stop. He sighs. I want you to know, Lulu, it was nothing personal. It was just business. Lulu stares at Mahadi. What? What do you mean?
Corbin would like to hold on to Lulu just in case she gets angry, does something in a nice way, kind of like a hug.
When I first saw you here, Lulu, I assumed that you had come seeking revenge for the memory loss I inflicted upon you. I was pleased to see that you and your compatriots' intentions were relatively benign. I do greatly apologize, Lulu, but it was not anything but, well, the will of Zariel.
What did you do?
I utilized some of the water of the river, splashing that water on our little friend here. Lulu starts to fly in erratic patterns all over the place. She says, You are a bad person. Give me my memories back. I can't do that. Once they're gone, you have to find them back for yourself, if they even can come back.
Well, surely there must be some way to undo it.
The waters of the river Styx are very powerful.
You broke the contract, though, right?
I'm afraid, Mr. Mahadi, that per your agreement, we are going to have to draw up another contract discussing the terms of compensation that you will furnish us with.
The contract was not with you.
It was with Lulu, I assume, as your guest.
That is correct.
Right. So go on, Lulu. What do you think a good penalty for Mr. Mahadi would be?
Man, I really don't like you. I thought you were my friend. You did me wrong. You're a bad, bad person. I know you're a fiend and it's partly part of your nature, but you could have been nice. You said you were my friend. She looks at you, Renascence, Corbin, and Hylan, and Ofelia, and she says, I'm too emotionally distraught. I can't make a decision. You guys got to help me out. I don't deal in contracts. You guys help me out. I don't know what to do.
It is difficult to put a price on this kind of emotional suffering, I agree. Might be at least 5 soul coins.
Or information.
I would say 5 soul coins and a favor.
Somebody must know how to get these memories back.
Or we should just go report it. That might be best. I like to obey the law.
Well, listen, we've all had a lovely time at the Wandering Emporium. I'd hate for it to be closed down, which I think is almost certainly what would happen here. I'll tell you what, Mahadi, my pitch is 5 soul coins, and you tell us exactly what happened to Lulu after you wiped her memory, right? Obviously, she didn't stay here living with you. So what became of her?
Oh, how about the sword, too?
Yeah, I don't think he knows. What exactly happened to Lulu after you wiped her memory and the location of Zariel's sword?
That, unfortunately, I do not know.
I want that in the contract, the location of Zariel's sword or any information about it that you know. That way it'll be in the contract. If you legitimately don't know, fair enough. If you do know anything, you'll be compelled to tell us by the contract.
Fair. I accept your terms. Darn straight. I'll beat you up.
Nope, not now.
Nope,
not here.
No.
Not here. Corbin holds her.
Hold me back. He snaps his fingers. I will say that the terms of your particular revised contract for Lulu, which Lulu must sign, as will Mahadi, is the language exactly as you make it out to be. But if you wish to make sure that there's no fine print, you can make an investigation check.
Who's good at investigation?
I am.
Me.
I rolled a 23.
So Hylan, you grab it out of the air and scan it top to bottom. There is no hidden text. There is no invisible text that can be revealed with lemon juice. No strange wording that makes you think otherwise than the terms put forth in your counter proposal.
Straightforward. 5
soul coins, information about what happened after Mahadi removed Lulu's memories, at least to his knowledge, and information, if he possesses any, about the Sword of Zariel and its location.
Correct.
That's what you get. Lulu looks at you, Hylan. Everything square?
Yes, Lulu, it looks good.
All right. Mahadi, hand me that darn quill. I'll sign this thing. Shoes on the other foot now, Mahadi. Takes the quill, signs it. Parchment floats over to Mahadi. The quill does too. And Mahadi signs it. And then the parchment disappears. Very well. 5 soul coins are yours. His hand opens and there is a stack of 5 soul coins in his hand.
I don't think anybody should carry so many soul coins. Maybe one each?
Well, we'll take one each now, but we can put him in that compartment in the ragga wagon.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 5. So there's 4 of us. So then...
And Lulu doesn't have any pockets.
Yeah, Corbin will take 2.
Are these soul coins empty?
You look at the soul coins, and they seem to be glowing, which indicates that they have charges in them. Mahadi then says, and now the sad tale. Lulu, although you may not believe it, your time here at the Infernal Rapture was a joyous one. Your time at the entire Wandering Emporium, you had so much pleasure, and in comparison to your wandering Avernus, you told me that you never wished to leave. But I was, of course, under orders. You called her your dearest love. She wished to have you back, and without any of the heroism that you had had before. Compliant. Willing, aiding her. And so, although it grieved me to do so...
Inside check?
Yep. He loved doing it.
Yeah. Only a 9. Don't know.
His words just, they float through your ears.
Yep.
Although it grieved me to do so, I did what I was told and remove your memories with a flask of the water from the river Styx. And then, once your memories were gone, Zariel's chief warlord hunter, Lilxori, found you and returned you only for a brief period of time, to Zariel. Or at least attempted to. From that point on, I do not know what occurred. Now for the third piece of information, the location of this sword. I know only that it is in a place hidden here somewhere in Avernus, someplace hidden even from Zariel herself. Of course, if it were known to her, she would find the sword and most likely destroy it. But it is in a place called the Bleeding Citadel. That is the extent of my knowledge.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
18?
You believe him?
Lulu, I'm so sorry.
This is not the way it was supposed to be. I'm not going to fall for this nonsense anymore. I'm not going to fall for you. She points her trunk at Mahadi. I'm not going to fall for any of this. I am not the victim here. Let's get out of here. I don't want to be in his stinky presence anymore.
I agree.
We got the coins.
Let's go.
Yep.
Head back to the ragga wagon.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Andy Cannistra, as Painbearer Corbin Shiv. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren, Anker, and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode of Descent into Avernus.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Everybody was so slow on that.
There was like a lag. There was a lag on. There was a lag on Discord. Like when you were telling us to clap, it was like
So we're blaming
1,
Discord.
2, 3.
That was pretty funny. It sounded like Large Marge could have driven a truck through that pause.